obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, cold air is going to stick with us for the next couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies today. Upper 20s north, mid 30s south with winds up to 30 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, mid to upper teens overnight, and sunshine back with us on Tuesday. A high low 30s north, upper 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, take it to the house.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. One, two, three. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Morning. Really feels like the start of the new year now with freezing temperatures and kids getting back to school maybe, as long as things don't get too ugly. Great to be with you today. It is a bright, sunny day. I am Phil Elson, and Matt Jones, my partner. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. It's halftime over the next 3 hours, and I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Not a great weekend for Arkansas basketball. Both the men's and women's teams took blowouts on the chin, so we'll get into that, obviously. You know, Arkansas brings in a new offensive tackle out of the transfer portal, have a lot of visits coming in over the next few days, and we got a lot of playoff football coming up starting Thursday. Good morning, Matt Jones. Happy Monday to you. Trying to keep myself as warm as I possibly can today, but that's kind of a really difficult thing to pull off. How are you?
Happy Monday. It was a good weekend. Got to see the Hogs play against a real basketball team. Then got to see Liverpool, Manchester United on Sunday. It was a 2-2 draw. It was a very thrilling game. And the playoffs are set for the NFL. So there was a lot that was accomplished over the weekend. A lot of people setting records. You know, you think of Mike Evans, Phil. I know we're both fans of Mike Evans. And then Pittsburgh, man, what a tough draw. You know, you want to make the tournament, and for your success, you get to go to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. And, you don't see many teams that go into the postseason with a 4-game losing streak and ever make any kind of noise. So I don't know if I've got any real faith in my NFL team as far as that's concerned. I do think Baltimore. Look, I read something today. I didn't realize this. Maybe I should have. That Lamar is the only 2-time MVP in NFL history during the Super Bowl era that does not have a Super Bowl championship. I don't know, maybe this is the year, but I think the teams that are the most complete right now are in the AFC, and those teams are Baltimore, Buffalo, and, of course, Kansas City. I had to laugh a little bit yesterday with Kansas City just sitting everybody, getting shut out. And what did the Bengals think was going to happen with all of the dudes for Kansas City sitting down? They had no chance to make the playoffs with Denver basically needing a win in order to get in. So it couldn't have been fun if you were a Cincinnati Bengal or a Bengal fan and know what was going to happen there. But that's what happens when you've already clinched the number 1 seed. What is it you got to play for?
Well, this is how I think that the college football playoff should do their bracket as well. So the Chiefs will get the lowest remaining seed, or as far as the highest remaining seed goes. However you want to, up is down, down is up. However you play your PlayStation game, inverted or not. But they'll get the highest numbered seed. Will come. So that's the same concept. You could do that in the college football, where teams the highest ranked seed go. That's how you play. I like how they do it.
I mean, the NFL has kind of had this playoff thing figured out for a long time, hasn't it? They add in another team to make the postseason.
Do you like just one bye now? So
I
you
do
like that?
One bye.
Okay.
It feels like a conference championship, like a regular season conference championship, though they don't really award things for that. But I think that, primacy, one team deserves that, not two. And I agree with you. I mean, the whole reseeding, to me, it's the idea that I don't understand why college football, why the playoff couldn't at least think about doing that in the future. It doesn't sound to me like they're interested in changing.
They're going to do it the same way one more year.
I think so, because I think there's just another year left on this contract before we figure out what the next iteration of the playoff will look like. So, the whole idea of conference champions getting a bye. Now, that's something that Greg Sankey said he'd like to revisit, but he's just one commissioner, and as much power as he might have, it still takes the other conference commissioners to change this. So I doubt that's going to change, at least next year, but then it'll all change all over again. But, man, you're right. You're right. I mean, you like to be like, Oregon, the number 1 overall seed. They would have much rather had things.
They would have got anybody
received.
else. They wouldn't have got Ohio State. Yeah.
No, it would not have gotten Ohio State. It would have made, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe it would have made for a better game for Oregon. And eventually they would have. That's the thing you say is like, well, you got to get through Ohio State sooner or later, right?
Well, they would have got Ohio State 1-8. That was the 1-8 matchup. But yeah. Yeah.
But that's also a product of how we're seeding things to begin with in college.
Ohio State wouldn't have been the 8-seeded team going into the tournament. That's right. They would have been ranked ahead of Boise State. They would have been ranked ahead of Arizona State.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, also get a situation where you get teams with worse records that host postseason games in the NFL because winning a division means something, and it's always going to mean something. But that's also a separate situation because well, maybe it isn't a separate situation. You win your division, that's kind of like winning a conference in college football, in a sense. I mean, you get to play in front of your home crowd. In that case, it's not like getting a bye in a conference in a college football playoff means you get to play in your home stadium because we're not doing that still. Still doing the neutral site and the bowl games and everything. But look what you got coming up ahead of you here, starting on Thursday. 5 days in a row with playoff games. 2 days of college football, 3 days of the, what do they call it, Super NFL, Super Wild Card Weekend. I think that's the title for it. We've never seen anything like this before. 5 days in a row where at least, well, with the NFL, I mean, you got multiple teams Saturday and Sunday that will see their seasons end. But starting Thursday, it's unique. And I like to point out the ideas that things are unique right now in football because the college football playoff is completely unique. We've never done this before with 12 teams. So I don't think we've ever had 5 days in a row with playoff games. Orange Bowl Thursday, Penn State, Notre Dame. Cotton Bowl Friday, Texas, Ohio State. Then Saturday, Chargers at Houston, Steelers at Ravens. You get the trio on Sunday of the Broncos, Bills, Commanders, Bucks, Packers, Eagles, and then Monday night, Vikings and the Rams. That is Well, I think we're supposed to get some more snow and freezing cold temperatures. So it's another reason, Matt, to just not get off the couch and make sure you keep the warm beverages coming all day long for 5 days straight. But then again, it's the first real week of the year when everybody's back to school and back to work. So Thursday, Friday maybe feels a little bit different than it would have the week before.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. It's going to be a fun weekend, that's for sure. I don't know which one I'm more excited as far as the playoff for in college, or if you're excited for the opening round, because the playoff football is where you get found out. You know, we brought up Pittsburgh going on a 4-game losing streak. Playoff football, man, the attention to detail. If you can't do something, the other team knows it. What can you do really well? The other team knows how to take that away. So you find out really about your depth and the type of talent you have, because, man, it's intense.
Well, do you think we might see overall better, really tighter games in the college playoffs now that we're down to the Final Four? And I mean, do you really think these are the 4 best teams of the year? I think we could get away with saying this. Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State. I'd say the favorites would be Notre Dame and Ohio State, but I still think Texas has as good of a chance as anybody to rise up, and I guess it would be an upset of Ohio State. I'm not sure if I'd necessarily view it in that sense as a major upset. I think Texas physically can withstand what Ohio State will bring with them. I just wonder if offensively they'll be able to move the ball with the ways that we saw them do against Clemson, and if the game ends up kind of coming on Quinn Ewers' shoulders, I'd end up going to Ohio State. Penn State, Notre Dame, maybe not a coin flip. I'd go Notre Dame for the most part, but I expect we'll see. I mean, Matt, we thought we'd see better games overall out of how many college football playoff games have we seen? We had 4 in the first round, 8. There's really just been 1 or 2 that you would think you'd say, all right, those were kind of close going into the fourth quarter, and then, of course, one game that came down to the very end. But I would hope and expect that these Thursday, Friday, Orange Bowl, Cotton Bowl games will be, I don't want to say classics, but tighter ball games and maybe a little bit more interesting to watch.
Well, it's weird how we watch college based on NFL, because in NFL, you 9 times out of 10, you take the better quarterback. The better quarterback is Quinn Ewers over Will Howard, no question about it. Penn State, Notre Dame, the better quarterback's Drew Allard over Riley Leonard. But apparently both 2 teams are the dogs. In the NFL, it's totally different, man. You're taking the best quarterback 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, when you think you got a couple of rookies in the NFL playoffs.
What about the Commanders could beat the Bucs, man? Yeah. I mean, that's a legitimate. They could really beat them.
Did you think Bo Nix would get Denver to the playoffs? I mean, they hadn't been to the playoffs. I think it had been 8 or 9 years. And Bo Nix is the guy to get that. Well, it's not necessarily all on his shoulders, but that was the biggest change from that for that team from last year to the next. And I don't know if I expected Jaden Daniels to get Washington there either, but 2 guys that we saw play against Arkansas a couple of times each, didn't we? And they came out with wins in both of those games.
How about that? We get Notre Dame and Texas on our schedule next year. We actually get to go to Texas, but we get Notre Dame at home, so you get 2 of the playoff 4 on your regular season schedule next year.
And then we'll be in Notre Dame, I think, the year after. Yeah, I was just in Austin yesterday for the Arkansas women's game against the Longhorns, and that one didn't go very well. It kind of felt the same way as the LSU game, and then it came to, we can get into the Arkansas-Tennessee game in just a moment because we'll have to break, and that might be tops on Razorback fans' minds.
Did you get any barbecue when you were in Austin? Where'd you eat any good food? Okay.
Yeah, we definitely got a good – I don't think you're allowed to go there without eating at least Tex-Mex or barbecue.
That's yeah.
What was the name of the place that we ended up going? Terry Black's Barbecue is where we ended up on
They got Unit out of his seat. That got the
unit. I heard our hype man. I heard Ed
in
McMahon
Dallas?
in the background there.
I've been in Dallas.
I love that barbecue.
Oh,
it was really good.
Macaroni's good. Everything's good.
Well, so I had the chopped beef sandwich, and this thing is like a skyscraper with 2 buns on top and on the bottom of it. But the creamed corn. Sometimes you eat creamed corn.
Did you get the potato salad?
Did not get the potato. Is that all right? Is that allowed?
It's pretty good.
To not get the potato salad.
It's allowed.
I got the creamed corn. The thing is, though, there's only so much room that one person's stomach has. This is the kind of place where you go in, you're like, well, I want every single side you have. Give me 2 of those banana puddings. And, oh, well, I haven't even ordered the meat yet.
You can
which
spend a
comes
bunch of money in there.
A lot
They
larger
do it
than
by
you
weight,
expect it to.
I think. Yeah.
I was a little surprised I was able to wake up Sunday for the game yesterday, considering that I ate so much. But it was good. Austin's great. I say this, Nashville has competition for the coolest town in the SEC now. All right, this is independent of what you think of the Texas Longhorns. If you don't like Austin, Austin is fun. That's a great place. I can't wait to get there for the football game next year. And then, well, we get them for baseball in Fayetteville this year, so I'm assuming next year we'll go there too. Welcome to the SEC, Austin. I think, is it okay to be just sort of like hateful towards the burnt orange and everything Longhorns, and then it comes down to, but the city is really, really cool. Like, people don't feel that way about Vanderbilt, do they? Does anybody really, outside of maybe your boy Hugh Freeze, hate Vanderbilt right now? Not really, but everybody's got to love Nashville. But Nashville or Austin, which one would you take? I'd have a little trouble picking between the two.
I've never actually been to Austin other for a business meeting. That was a business trip.
That was a business
I've never. That's the only time I've been to Austin. Yeah.
I
I like Nashville. You go down. There's plenty of places to play pool, go play poker, go see a show. There's so many restaurants to eat. I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff to do there in Nashville. Nashville's cool.
Oh, and the building, where the Longhorns play now, where I think the men's team under Muss, didn't they play the first game there as an exhibition? You couldn't see it, but I think Chuck and Zim were on the call. That's an amazing building, not just for basketball, but also for concerts. I mean, the list of names and acts that they have there is mind-blowing. So, yeah, I mean, we don't want to pump up Austin too much here, because Fayetteville is the most livable place and the best place to live in any of the SEC cities. So you got that going for you too, of course. Here's what you got going on halftime today. Mike Irwin coming up at the bottom of this hour. 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center in about an hour from right now. And lots of time for your calls and texts as we go through the show up until 2 o'clock. 877-377-6963. We'll get into Arkansas's egg laid at Tennessee in just a moment here on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
We hear all the commercials that air on the Fort Smith ESPN radio station. And Ty sells more stuff on that station and during the commercial break. I hear it every day. I have decided on a field trip to Fort Smith. I'm going to Rainwaters.
So you should do a tour of all the spots, all the places in Fort Smith. Ty does their spots and stuff. Walk in and say, hey, Ty sent me.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait, this offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat Equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future, elevate your potential.
everybody. This is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
It's just like you feel
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I spent most of Saturday's basketball game in the car, headed up to meet the women's team to fly to Texas, stopped at CJ's Burgers to watch a little bit of it, but I listened to most of the game with Chuck and Zim, and I don't know if you needed to see it necessarily because I thought they described it really well. Tennessee just manhandled the Razorbacks from the very start of the game, and man, it's not just about rebounding, but that's one of the things Cal hit on.
They had more offensive rebounds than we had rebounds. Come on. Well, what is that? Is that some skill? That's fight. Fight.
He's close, though. They had 24 offensive rebounds. Tennessee did. Arkansas had 29 total rebounds. Looks like they missed 42 shots and rebounded 24 of them. That's ridiculous. You can't win a game when you're allowing over 50% of your opponent's missed shots to be pulled down by them, and that turns into, they didn't even turn it into some huge second chance points thing. It's just when you give up 69 shots and you take only 53, usually it doesn't matter how well you shoot, unless your ace is from behind the arc, and right now that was not Arkansas on Saturday. And Matt, maybe the best way to look at this is Tennessee's just playing really, really good basketball right now. One of maybe 5 or 6 teams in the SEC you could say that, and I'd be surprised if anybody beats them at Thompson Bowling this year.
Man, yeah, I'm a Ricky Barnes fan. That's for sure. They got outclassed everywhere. I mean, I watched the entire game, and yeah, it'll make you want to throw up watching that game at times. I mean, they had 18 assists to our 9, 2-to-1, ratio there. They had more steals than us. Now we had more blocks than them, but they dominated the boards. They made their free throws. I don't know if the more scarier stat, Phil, is I don't know that we're a good enough shooting team to really be a good team. I think there's talent on this team. I'm not saying that, but man, you got to hit your free. We're 6 of 13, below 50% from the free throw line going forward. You know, you expound on that where they're shooting 21, 24 free throws. Got to be up closer to 70%, in the 70% range. And then, yeah, just got, but you got to tip your hat to Tennessee. That's a real team. We would be. I mean, I think we're a tournament team talent wise. It'd be kind of where your matchup is. There's a lot to go on. You know, the team's going to get a lot better, hopefully. But that's the other thing. What these other teams aren't going to get better too. I mean, they're going to get better too. It doesn't look too. I think we're a very average team, so to speak. You know, especially if we're going to play like that. We're an average basketball team.
No, maybe average on the road against the number one team in the country.
Wouldn't you like to see them at your home court, right?
Wouldn't
you like to see Tennessee at home?
I mean, you feel you got to win all your home games no matter what. I'd say this year more so than ever before. What do you got? You got 18 league games, so you got 9 at home, 7-2, 8-1 at home. I'm talking necessity in order to, not just make the tournament, but at least get the kind of seed that you'd like to get. So that turns every home game, I think, into absolute must win. I mean, completely must win.
You got to get Jonell Davis is going to have to change his number or something because he's got to get out of his funk. They're counting on him to do something, and he was a walking zero. 25 minutes, 0 for 4, 0 steals, 0 blocks.
Yeah.
He's got to be better. Because we're counting on him. He's got to be better than for whatever reason he's not shining.
Well, I mean, people online will point to whatever money he's making and saying, well, you're paying him for more than this. It's not the money necessarily. It's just the idea that Jonell Davis was one of the most sought-after players in the portal when he got in. I mean, you're talking about a guy that helped Florida Atlantic make it to the Final Four a couple of years ago, somebody that averaged 18 points a game last year, and it wasn't just against American Conference competition. And the wrist injury or whatever, however that happened before the season has obviously completely changed him as a player. And maybe that would be the case no matter what if a wrist injury occurs on your shooting wrist, and he's just not the same. I mean, this is somebody that last year was making 41% of his threes. He's at 36% right now. This is somebody that was scoring 18 points a game last year, 10 fewer points a game right now. And understand he'd been off the court for a couple of games and might not have been practicing very much. But this is I don't know if I'd say this is like the key right now for this team, but he's somebody that's supposed to be starting, somebody that's supposed to be bringing in 15 to 20 points a game, good outside shot, attack the rim. That's what he's really, really good at. And, I would like to think it's just going to take a little bit of time for him to get where he should be, but we've sort of been waiting for these last 2 months. As soon as that wrist heals, and I don't know if it is fully healed, if they kind of just put him out there at 80% or 85%, but right now he's not the player that he was before. I think the wrist injury more than anything is the reason why. But until he becomes what he was at Florida Atlantic, I wonder what the ceiling is for this Arkansas team.
Well, we're a mid-level team. We're just we're a middle of the pack team. If there's 3 tiers in college basketball, I think we're a tier 2 team. I don't think we're up there with Auburn. And you just saw Tennessee outclassed us. And like you said, we were on the road. Okay, cool, whatever. You still, if you're going to be a team, you expect a little bit more fight. You expect a little better effort. Can't go 6 of 29. That's 20% from the 3-point line. Just really, there wasn't ever. It was never in doubt. I know you talk, Phil, about pitchers having stressful innings, and then when you have a lead, it's like, well, they had to pitch 3 innings, but they had a 7-run lead. That's what it felt. It felt like Tennessee, there was never a doubt, never a question. They were just out there kind of doing, we were chasing the ball a lot. I mean, as far as our defense, they knew when to penetrate. They knew how to pass. They just looked like a veteran, complete team that's kind of ready to go through this gauntlet, and we kind of look like, oh, maybe we were still stuck inside. I don't know, but we definitely looked like the moment was too big for us.
I didn't do a shoot around today. If I had to do it over again, I would. I didn't because it was a noon start with our body time, and I thought it would be better to let them sleep in. Should have had a shoot around. Let them sleep all day. I think they were ready. I like how we started the game. We did some good stuff.
I think people are making a little bit too much about the no shoot around thing.
Dude, the first 7 minutes was our best part of the game. I mean, we hung with them the first 7 minutes, and then that was it. So I don't know. It wasn't, I guess, how we started. It's just they got going. You could just see their confidence. We weren't really we weren't really putting a lot of pressure on them. You know, we weren't forcing them to make them have to work for a lot of things. They just kind of were running their thing like it was open gym.
Look, Arkansas didn't play on their heels or shoot poorly because they didn't wake up at 5:30 or 6 in the morning to make a shoot-around that would have had been scheduled at 7 o'clock for a 12 o'clock game. They were playing on their heels because Tennessee right now is that good, and they were in front of their home fans in their building, and they're a team that's been together, hasn't been dealing with injuries throughout the first couple of months, and I'm not saying that as an excuse, but I do think that Arkansas is still kind of trying to figure out who they are, and the injuries are one reason why. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Let's break. We'll talk about this game with Mike Irwin and what else is going on in college sports in just a moment with Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin here on halftime.
Man, I love y'all, man. I'm telling you, y'all really help me. Y'all get me through the day every day.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now. You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life. Previously on Ruskin and Zach.
And then we had an ideal bathroom tree where a branch was like thick enough that you could sit on it and you didn't have to worry about it falling, and it was right over the creek.
Hold on a sec. You're dropping a toozy from a tree branch into a creek?
It was not downstream to where we were.
Oh, well, thank God.
It was on our lane.
Somebody else's problem, not ours.
Ruskin and Zach, 2 to 7 weekdays, only on ESPN 99.5.
He has to do to slow down number 5 here in the second half. Sure, he's all man. We've got to tackle his butt.
HitThatLine.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Are you tired of the same old smelly gym? Then it's time to try something new. Let's Hang Out. The Hangout Fitness and Sports is the River Valley's only multi-sport family-friendly facility with a 24-hour gym and indoor courts for tennis and pickleball. With over 8,000 square feet for the gym alone, it's never overcrowded. The Hangout has certified trainers on staff with group personal training available. If HIIT, bar, yoga, or Pilates is your thing, they have that too. Join today and get January for free with a 3-month commitment. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Remodeling
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, we do have Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation with us here on the phones on a Monday morning on Halftime. Mike, you freezing? How you doing today?
Well, I got to work. That's the good part. It is cold out there. I'm glad my car didn't break down. I think I would have been in trouble trying to walk.
Yeah. Do you just wear a bunch of sweaters, because what I do, I keep the heat really where it's been all month long. I'm just putting layers on. I got hoodies on top of hoodies on top of hoodies.
No, I don't do that because it gets too hot. I hate heat more than anything. I mean, it's just I don't like temperature extremes, I guess. It's nice where I am right now in our sports studio.
Hey, you fired up for 5 days of playoff football in a row. Starting Thursday, you get 2 days of college football playoffs, 3 days of NFL playoffs, and I don't think we've ever experienced anything like that.
Well, I hope we get some good games, some close games, because of the 8 college football playoff games that have been played so far, only one of them was a really good game. Again, as I told you guys last week, I think part of the problem is when you allow a seeded team to also play at home with a home field advantage. I think as long as that continues, and I guess it will, I think the seeded team is going to have a tremendous advantage. I think you're going to see a lot of blowouts. I think the first round may be just like, so what? Then the second round, what we saw was if you sat out and had a bye, then you probably were off for 3 or 4 weeks before you played, and we saw those teams all struggle, especially early on. Arizona State finally bounced back after getting just hit in the mouth in the first quarter, and they made a game of it and probably should have won. But the rest of those games, I think they were the average on those in round 2 was 14 points, and it was like 24 points or whatever in round 1. So one good game so far. Hopefully it'll all stabilize now.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Mike. I know at that age it's a little tougher to, when you don't play for 20-something straight days and you go do finals, you're going to do other things, and it was kind of like Oregon didn't start with the same intensity as Ohio State, and then probably Penn State's better than Boise State. I get some of that. Georgia's still like they didn't start the same way either. But going forward, Mike, when you look at this Texas-Ohio State matchup, who do you like winning this one and why?
I think Ohio State wins the whole thing. I think they've been on a mission ever since they lost to Michigan. I think they just look, they're dominant.
Like they're checked in now, like the light switch is flipped. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they're good offensively, defensively focused. I wouldn't want to play them right now. That's for sure. Everybody talks about Texas having the advantage because it's played in Arlington, but I don't think that will matter.
Kind of makes me real. It's like if they do that, and I agree. I think right now Ohio State's playing the best football. The championship, I mean, it's a championship, but I think to their fans, it comes with a bit of an asterisk because you don't win. Previously, before we had a 12-team playoff, if they'd have lost to Michigan, I don't think they would have been a champion. They would not have had the opportunity to be a champion. So, I mean, that's just an example of how different college football now than it was even, let's say 12 months ago. And it's just interesting to look at how fans view things. I think their fans should have by now gotten over the loss to Michigan because the playoffs are what matters.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of calls for their coach to be fired anymore like there was before. But, I mean, come on. They look to me to be dominant. Again, I see them winning it all. I don't even know it'll be close in the championship game.
I think the Texas-Ohio State game is the championship game. I think the winner of that game wins it. I know Notre Dame has a really good defense, and I do like what they're doing. That's going to be a fun matchup. Mike, did you happen to see the Hogs play the Vols noon Saturday? Kind of what was your takeaway? Are you nervous a little bit, or do you kind of just think this team we're just going to be a mid-level SEC team? In which being a mid-level SEC team is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I think they're mid-level. It pretty much confirmed what I thought. Going on the road is just going to get you barbecued at most places because Arkansas wasn't the only team that had the problems that they had, which they got out physical, they didn't rebound, they didn't shoot well, they didn't play good defense. Guess who else did that? Undefeated Oklahoma. And I'd watched Oklahoma a lot in November and December. They're very good, and they got slaughtered by Alabama by 28. Got beat worse than Arkansas did, and it was a similar game. I watched A&M and Texas, and I wasn't really impressed with either team. Texas was 11-2 going in. They lost by 20. South Carolina, they had 3 losses, but they were still pretty good. I'd seen them play some good games. They got slaughtered by Mississippi State by 35. And Auburn, they had a good Missouri team down by 25 before letting off the gas and still had a 16-point loss. Of all of the teams that won at home, Auburn was the least impressive because they didn't play wire to wire like everybody else did. I don't know what that means. I was also a little surprised that you had one team that lost at home, LSU, and now they're all already in a big hole because you cannot lose at home this year. You're going to lose a bunch of road games, probably most of them. Some teams are going to lose all of them, but you got to win at home.
I tell you, just looking at the schedule here, I see a possibility for 5 road wins in the SEC. Now, don't snicker too much about this. Your next 2 road games are LSU and Missouri. LSU was the only team to lose at home this weekend. It was to Vanderbilt. Missouri, I know they beat Kansas, but that's a beatable team in their building. Texas, I think you can win at Texas. And then South Carolina and Vanderbilt. Again, I think those are 2. I'm not saying they will, but I see the other games are going to be really tough on the road. Auburn, A&M, Kentucky. But I think you got the opportunity for 5 of them out there. Maybe I'm a little pie in the sky. But in order for that to happen, you got to play well. And they just didn't play well against Tennessee. I think maybe that has a little bit more to do with Tennessee being that good. But look, right now, where's the inside presence scoring? Where's the inside presence rebounding? You know, Jonas Aidoo is back, and I think he's healthy, but there's only so much he can do. Z's got to be better at this. Brazil's got to show up. I mean, he was great before SEC play starts and had a really tough game. So, you know, I mean, we were a little bit about the three-point shooting, but right now I'm looking into the front court and saying, where's the presence?
Well, they got to get Nelly Davis. I don't know what's going to happen with him. You know, it looked like he was coming on. Then I don't know if he re-injured the wrist or what happened, but he's back looking like he did earlier, where he just has no confidence and can't shoot. He did play hard when he was in the game. He fought for rebounds and, you know, got some assists and things like that. He wasn't shooting well. Jonas Aidoo, to me, he had the flu, and he's recovered from it. But if you've ever had the flu, you're not okay for about a week or so after you're weak, and I think that's what affected him. But they didn't go inside to him very much either. They didn't try. There were nobody was getting assists. I think Tennessee's defense was so good that they just started freaking out and just started throwing the ball around, and we can't do this, let's take a jump shot. And, Arkansas has actually developed into a pretty good shooting team, and I don't think all of their missed shots were the result of Tennessee's defense. I think they missed some wide open looks. Then on other nights they may hit. So you're right. I'm not ready to hit the panic button. And if they win some of those road games and do well at home, that's the thing. You've got to win at home. You just can't lose home games. And so we'll see how they play at home. But this is somebody said, we're going down the same road as last year. Well, you may go down the same road, but you have a better team. It's just the conference is tougher than it was a year ago.
Let's see. We got visits coming in for football this next weekend. I know they added another offensive tackle out of Maryland who'd also played at LSU previously. I mean, it looks like they've really tried to completely rebuild the offensive line, Mike. And heck, we kind of saw that over last year. I think at some point you'd like to think, well, maybe they do feel like they hit on some of the guys that they got out of the portal last year. It's just you got a couple of them going back into the portal too. But a rebuilt offensive line, and man, it's just when you're looking at any of the defects from this last year, pass protection was top of the list, and hopefully they figure that out in the spring.
Well, I think they want to have options this year. They want to look at these new guys and say, okay, who should start? And not just go, well, we got to start this guy or we got to start that guy. And so have options and then have more depth. Have the ability to substitute, because I think that becomes necessary as the season goes on. I think they've done a good job. Somebody asked what was the real value of winning the bowl game. Is it just going to be that ticket sales are going to go up more next year? I don't think they'll raise ticket prices in football. I think they'll raise them in basketball. But I think the real value of winning that bowl game was I think it helped their portal recruiting. And if you don't think it matters to win a bowl game, go talk to some A&M fans. Go talk to Oklahoma fans. Talk to any of these teams that lost games and ask them. Even Georgia, when you end the season on a loss, as a fan, you just sit there and think about that all in the off season. So I do think, again, winning that bowl game, it might not have been the biggest game ever, but I think it helped.
You're going to have a lot of competition at tackle specifically. And you're right. I mean, you're bringing in right now 6 offensive linemen and, 5 offensive linemen, pardon me. I mean, it's competition in the spring, but it's also, just like you're saying, if someone's not playing well, and I think there might have been an issue with that this year. And part of that was because Kudus was hurt for a good chunk of the season. But, man, it looks like they're building some of the depth that they were hoping to build previously, and you can mix and match if somebody's not playing well, and I think that was one aspect we didn't see as much this year.
Yeah, I think so. Options are always the best. If you're a coach, you always want options because that's the best motivator that I know of. If you're competing with somebody else for a starting position, and I know this from the Stone Age when I played in high school, if there's a guy breathing down your neck, that's the best motivation you can have. And the coaches don't usually even have to say much. They just stick a guy in place of you in practice and run a few plays and let you stand there and watch. And you're like, whoa, I don't like that. So, yeah, I think just having the options. Look, they've got some linemen coming back that are good too. The freshman from Fort Smith, I've had people tell me he'll start next year. I don't know if that's true, but they're that high on this kid. So, it's not like they don't have anybody coming back. And then if you add what they're bringing in, I think they knew that's where they really had to do well was in the O-line.
Mike, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you coming on with us. A happy New Year to you. Looking forward to more visits on these Mondays. Thanks as always.
Thank you, guys.
Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, with us every Monday on Halftime. Well, it's freezing outside, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy Andy's frozen custard. It's always something sweet and delicious. They've got their locations in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue. They're in Conway, East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive, North Little Rock and JFK Boulevard. The greatest frozen treats around. Make sure to take home a pick 6 for any one or all of the 5 days of playoff football coming up starting Thursday. That's 6 of your favorite flavors. It's the perfect game time treat. Andy's frozen custard, walk-up, or drive-through, always ready to serve you. Stay with us. We'll wrap up the first hour of halftime right after this.
This is halftime.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, ballpark nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With a new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got coffee.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Just a little news involving former Razorbacks and the commitments they're making to play for other programs. Rashad Dubinion, Matt, committed to App State to play for Dowell.
Rashad Dubinion, he's going to go apply his trade in the Appalachia. So good for him, man. Yeah,
I bet he does really well there too.
He's going to be the best player on the team. Yeah, he's going to be one of the better players in the. It's kind of like Khalif Battle going to Gonzaga. You know, you kind of look in the conference. He's one of the most talented players.
I wondered, what got him into the portal? Was it a thought of, I can make more going somewhere else? Was he kind of
playing? He wants to be the
portal?
guy. He wants to play, man. I think a lot of competitors feel, and I know I was like this. I want to play. If I can't play, I'm not good enough. Then let me go try to find a place, But like, that's the thing. I don't think he felt like he was gonna be the guy here. Like he wants to be RB1.
Well, you're right. I mean, look, Talon and Jaquindon Jackson combined for over 300 carries, and then Russell at 67, Dubinion at 56. I think that's exactly what you're talking about. More touches. He's never carried it more than 82 times in a 3-year career at Arkansas. There weren't any indications that he would have had more than 56 carries next year, but you know what he's going to get at App State?
He gets
150.
I was going to say he gets 200 touches,
Right.
and he'll find out if he's good enough to go to the are you ready to go, or do you got one more year to make your money in college football? Because I do think he's a board. I think he could have been an all conference like SEC second team running back. I think that's how much talent he has. Maybe he can. I'm a Dubinion fan, you know that. I think he's going to go down there and have a lot of success. And there's familiarity with him and Dow Loggins.
Right. Now, what about Jalen Catalon going to Mizzou? I did not see that one coming.
I don't really worry about him. He's Humpty Dumpty set on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. I don't count on him playing all 12 games.
So he's never played a full season in a Power 5 league at Arkansas or at Texas, but he played the full season at UNLV. And coming back into the SEC, maybe things change back to the way they were before.
He's as talented as anybody, Phil. When you're saying a guy that when we're talking about guys that can play on Sunday, Catalon can play on Sundays. His thing is just he's kind of got the injury bug. It's just kind of how it is.
That's how I feel about a lot of college football players. But that's always the big if, right? This guy could be a star if he can stay healthy. Well, you're only playing the most vicious team sport in the entire world, and that's part of what it takes, isn't it? I mean, don't the scouts pay attention to this kind of thing too? Who can be durable?
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured. To use one of your lines, readily available. You got to be available. And then if you are healthy, didn't we have a player last year? Was it Washington? That he was healthy and ready to go, and he didn't want to go play in. So when you are able, you got to go when your name's called.
Our name will be called in just a few minutes for the second hour of halftime, and you can call your own name if you want. You just got to call 877-377-6963. We'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in about 20 minutes. Otherwise, we got a wide open segment coming up after the top of the hour. It's halftime. Good to be with you today. Stay with us.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, cold air is going to stick with us for the next couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies today. Upper 20s north, mid 30s south with winds up to 30 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, mid to upper teens overnight, and sunshine back with us on Tuesday. A high low 30s north, upper 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN
Arkansas. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Coach said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they but one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Hello and welcome back into halftime. It's our second hour, officially in the afternoon, 1 minute after noon. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston. The C Unit is producing, and we'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down. Dr. Charlie Liggett, River Valley Smiles, about 15 minutes. Otherwise, wide open for you right now. And got a little bit of coaching carousel stuff going on today. Matt, yesterday the Pats fired Jared Mayo after 1 year. Doug Peterson was let go by the Jags after a 4-13 finish. Those are the two coaches who've lost their gigs over the last couple of days. The Giants owner, Mara, saying that he's going to be keeping Brian Daboll, and he's also keeping the general manager there, but he's running out of patience. And I wonder what's going to happen with Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones. You know, Jerry said all the things about, well, probably keeping him, and I do wonder the day after the season ends, and not anything the kind of year that the Cowboys have been used to having under McCarthy. They have been a playoff team under him. I do wonder what happens in the next few days as far as he's concerned.
Man, it's wild on the frontier. You know, you draft a rookie quarterback, and then you get 1 year with them. You know, I like Drake May, big fan of his. In Jacksonville, you had your time. I mean, you got Trevor Lawrence, who he's a number 1 overall pick, and rightfully so. Trevor Lawrence has all the talent in the world. And I don't know, which job would you want to go to? Would you look at the division, how it's matched up? Do you look at being in the shadow of Belichick? Do the Patriots go back to Belichick? No way, right? But which job would you, because you got to have a young quarterback. I mean, you got not necessarily a young quarterback. You got to have a quarterback in the NFL. We talked about that. Playoff games, I usually take the better quarterback. And in college, you take maybe the better coach, not so to speak. But I like both those quarterbacks. Which job would you want?
I guess I'd go for the Pats just because it's a franchise that isn't that far removed from winning.
Culture,
it's just,
yeah.
It was always under Tom Brady, and that's the trick. You know, nobody knows if Drake May is going to be their savior quarterback moving forward. But I do think they have to bring Mike Vrabel in as the head coach. That just seems to be the only, I think, real choice that Kraft has as far as that's concerned. I don't know if he had a choice last year because it was written into Mayo's contract that he was the head coach in waiting. So head coach in waiting didn't last too long, 1 year. And, man, I mean, they won their first game and then lose 13 of the next 16. That's a tough season. For the Jags, man, I don't know, because it looks like Lawrence regressed this last year. I'm not sure if that's on him or if that's on the line or his receivers. I just know they're rebuilding the stadium. Jacksonville, to me, feels like a franchise in flux. And I wonder about this, too, is that don't they always play a couple of games over in Europe? Didn't they play 2 there last year? They're always going to play a game in England.
I won for sure. I don't know if they played 2, but I think, Jacksonville. Well, Shad Khan's their owner. He's a part owner of Fulham. That's a team in the Premier League as well. He kind of has that connection for him that makes it a little easier. But it seems like Jacksonville's always one of the teams that goes over there.
877-377-6963. I did see where it looks like Rex Ryan thinks he's the front runner to be the new Jets head coach.
Recycle it. Let's go back down in it. Yeah. 04-ish, Mark Sanchez years, 06-ish, kind of right in there. Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't have thought that he'd return to New York. Like,
well,
honestly,
are you looking for somebody to handle Aaron Rodgers? Is that the thing? Is it kind of like, you're going to give the A-Rod shot one more chance?
Do you try one more year? I mean, the first 2 years of this have been utter disasters.
He
didn't
slow.
play it all more for 4 snaps the first season and just showed flashes this last year.
I don't know.
Flashes don't I think, give you any feeling that he can get back to any semblance of being that quarterback that he was before the Achilles injury.
I don't know where they pick in the draft, but man, you hate to say it, you hate to see it because it's a young man's game, but he and maybe he just didn't want it anymore, but he looks slow. He doesn't look like he has the same zip. He doesn't move the same. I don't know. I think A-Rod's done.
Jets pick 7th, Matt, right in front of the Panthers, right after the Raiders. So Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders would be the first 2 quarterbacks taken, right?
I'm not taking Shedeur Sanders. I'm not taking him in the first round. I don't think so. Cam Ward, I'd want to see more. I had Michael Penix was a better grade than Cam Ward last year, and what Penix go 9. There might not be a number 1 quarterback in this draft. I like Quinn Ewers a lot more than some other people do. Some people like Jackson Dart. I don't know that Jackson Dart's. I mean, there's going to be some quarterbacks out. I like the kid from Memphis just as much as anybody. I mean, he's a big, strong kid, talented arm.
Yeah, but you know, though, Sanders and Ward will probably still be the first 2 taken up. And it's about team needs, right? I mean, Tennessee, they have the top pick. They need a quarterback badly. So my guess is they're picking one. Or what do you do at this point? Do You know, if this isn't the sort of draft for a quarterback that you had the year before, and I don't know if we'll see another, 2024 draft again, do you trade down to somebody that also needs a quarterback and try to get multiple picks? Because Tennessee's got more that they need to clean up. Same with the Browns. I mean, Cleveland's got an aging roster. They've got the second overall pick. The Giants, they probably need a quarterback too. They're third. So if you're the Jets, you're not picking a QB in the first round. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to convince.
Maybe go get Sam Darnold.
Now that's an interesting idea. Didn't he?
He's a 1-year deal. His contract's up.
Was that the team that picked him?
No, he was Carolina Panthers, I believe.
That's right. Feels to me like he's been with the Jets before, but he's been such a journeyman.
He might have been. I think he did come around for the Jets for a year or two. Yeah,
well, that is an interesting thing too, because there's other, like they'll say Pittsburgh, they've got to figure out what to do about the quarterback position, because they get rid of their quarterbacks from last year. They bring in Fields and Wilson and have the same record, 10-7. So it didn't change at all. Russ has not looked good during this 4-game losing streak. So what do? There is a quarterback who's had a great season in Sam Darnold who's available, and McCarthy is the guy that's supposed to be sliding in there. Are they going to run with both of those guys next year? I mean, you do have the rookie quarterback, contract. It's not like they're spending too much money on him or on Darnold either.
And they got Daniel Jones.
Keep both of them.
They picked him up off the waiver wires.
Maybe the Giants will look to trade for. No, maybe not. Let's go to the phones. We've got Charlie here on a Monday. Good afternoon, Charlie. What's going on?
Well, good afternoon, guys. Good luck to anybody who goes to play quarterback for the Jets. I will pray for you and the rest of your career. Good luck, because
put that in the same with the Browns, the same with the Bears. Are there any other franchises that fit that?
Panthers, Carolina at this point. I mean, look, Bryce Young, I thought got back in there this year and actually improved. I thought sitting him for the amount of time that they sat him, and when he got back in there, I thought he played well. I don't think their team's very good, but I thought Bryce Young improved this year. And so one of the things that I think you guys are talking about is all teams that the problem is you put these quarterbacks in these situations and these rosters stink. I agree that Aaron Rodgers did not, play as well as he could have, but he's 41, right? And I think in a situation, if, you go to a team where he's, the protection's better, they're running the football, they're playing defense. He had some flashes this year, but no, he's never going to get back to. He's 41. He's never going to get back to.
There's also a different thing when it comes to Rodgers, Tuna, and you know this. It has nothing to do with his physical abilities.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not he can play quarterback now, it's the attention that he brings to himself.
Price tag.
And the soap opera that goes along with him joining your team, and yes, the price tag too.
Yeah, no doubt. The off the field stuff, I think, is more of a distraction than anything, whether he wants to admit that or not. And look, the guy's super talented and is one of the best quarterbacks ever. I don't think I don't get, he's beefing with Ron Clark and all this crap. I mean, what the heck? I mean, Ron Clark's like, dude, come see me. Let's have this talk. And he's just throwing out, who he's talking about. I mean, come on, bro. But I heard you, Matt, at the beginning of the show talk about what you saw on Saturday. You saw a real basketball team in Tennessee. I think, obviously we all know. I mean, there's a lot of times when you get beat by 24, there's a plethora of things that you look at and you go, yeah, that's why you lost by 24. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, when you can't rebound and get all these loose balls that are tapped out, and I want to ask you this too, Matt, because in the first half they were switching everything, correct? I mean, they were switching almost every action. And I think if you're going to do that, as Kyle said, I thought there were times they played extremely well defensively for the first, 30 seconds of the shot clock. They couldn't secure the rebound a lot of times because, they switched everything. And I think that is a strength of this team. But if you're going to do that, boy, you got to gang rebound. You can't just say box out and expect the big to get it. There's like, what's that Milicic do? He's just sitting there tapping the ball out to everyone. He probably had, I don't know, how many rebounds did he have, Phil? Like 15? And he probably had 8 or 9.
It was 18. Yeah. It was 18.
How many of those were tap outs? I mean, just offensive rebounds or a block shot that just went right to him. So, when you give a team that many possessions and that many extra shots, Tennessee didn't just dominate and shoot the ball extremely well. I mean, I know Arkansas didn't shoot it well either, but Arkansas even had a slightly higher field goal percentage. It just comes down to, my thing is, are we going to say, okay, Arkansas's got to get better? Yes. But to me, when I watch that game, Matt, and I want you guys' opinion on this, because is that something where, I don't know if that's a get better thing. You got to find a way to understand that you got to play with extreme intensity for 40 minutes every single night. And when you're at home, you better protect it the best you can. When you go on the road, you're not going to always shoot well, right? You got to be ready to go get loose balls, dive on the floor, all these things. That's how you win these games. Tennessee ain't no.
That's exactly right. You're right, Toon. I mean, it's effort. It's not a matter of part of it is planning. I mean, you got to know how to rebound. You got to know how the angles come off the glass and off the rim and everything. But it's effort. It's effort. And I don't want to criticize the effort necessarily. It's just that I feel like they might have played a little bit. I don't know if intimidated is the right word, but I don't know if they went into the building expecting that they would win. You know what I mean? It's just it didn't necessarily
I agree with that.
Feel like they played like that.
Oh, yeah. And before I get off it, no, and I agree with that. I think there early on they did okay, but once they realized they just couldn't get a rebound, how many times on the offensive rebound does it get sprayed out for a three? It just, all the time. You see it all the time, or a layup. It's just, when a team gets that many possessions, man, that's how you lose. I mean, this is just one game. This going to be a long season. That's just one game.
Charlie, did you say plethora? I feel like I missed.
Plethora
is that a word that we're not allowed? Who was it the other day that said you're not allowed to say plethora on the show? It was Bill King.
It wasn't me.
Was it?
You guys have a good one.
It was Clay. It was Clay Henry. He is an anti-plethora writer, and Charlie just broke the rule.
Once a year was I think the Hall of Famers rule.
Heck, I just said it like 5 times in 10 seconds. But if you're criticizing someone else for saying the verboten word, I guess it's okay. Wow. It's like, wait until Tuna calls on Wednesday when Clay's back on the show with us. That's going to be some punishments doled out, I believe. We're brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. You got big plans, big adventures in the back of your mind for the family. They've got an RV on the lot at Crabtree that fits you perfectly. Find Crabtree RV in Alma, right beside the Cracker Barrel, where I-40 and I-49 come together, and online at crabtreerv.com. Quick break. We'll come back with 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center here on Halftime.
Connor, all I'll say is truck, yeah.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
At Phil Wright Autoplex in Russellville,
we know you have many places to buy a car. Our competitive pricing and no-pressure sales team
has made us your premier GMC and Chevrolet dealer in the River Valley for almost 50 years.
Our impressive inventory is changing daily. Shop online 24/7 at philwright.com.
For a simplified buying process, trust Phil Wright Autoplex. Great inventory, great prices, and an overall great buying experience. Exit 84 off I-40, Russellville.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Baby born in New York City, in a blanket on Saturday morning. Mama's doing the best that she can. Takes holding on his world. Every son stayed in school, listened to his mother, never drank from use. At every job he wants, he gets refused.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You can pretty much set your watch by it, give or take 5 minutes or so. We don't need to be exact in this day and age, do we? But if you hear widespread panic on your radio station about 12:15 on a Monday, you know what that means? It's 3 up, 3 down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Charlie Liggett with us from the River Valley Smile Center. He is the resident widespread fan. Do you call him widespread or you just call him panic, Dr. Liggett?
Usually panic. But
That makes you a panic head, right?
I think once you make it to double-digit shows, then you drop the widespread. You know, once you get into the double digits.
Yeah, they'll call them spread heads sometimes.
Spread heads.
Yeah.
Wow. It's not even a matter of people that like butter on bread. So is it the same as when I went to some fish shows? I've only been to like 3 or 4 fish shows. And the people that are walking outside looking for the ticket, they stick the finger up. They just do that. Do they have drum circles where you can tell it's sort of like a caste system with the real cool people in the middle of the drum circle? Is that the same at spreadhead shows?
Yeah, the lots are a lot of fun. It's a lot like Grateful Dead shows, fish shows, kind of same deal. But A lot of fun.
Mark texted and he says we're spread necks. That's even better. That's
Yeah.
probably the right idea. Yeah.
go, Mark.
So I got my first one here today is to the Moody Center, which is the home of the Texas Longhorn basketball program, volleyball as well. Major concert venue. Look, you can hate Texas. I'm no fan of the Longhorns, but I can appreciate what right now is my favorite building in the SEC for college basketball. It used to be Mizzou. I also really like Tennessee. I love Bud Walton Arena. Don't get me wrong. The Moody Center is an amazing place. They host, just countless concerts at that building, and it's built for it too. But they also have something I've never seen before, which they put the hustle board on a giant projector screen that stretches along the upper deck 2/3 the way around. It's the biggest scoreboard I've ever seen in a basketball arena. Now, they don't always have it on through the game, but it's on at times during the game. And, man, they sell the place not all the way out, but pretty close. Texas is really good. And then when you walk in to the where the entrance to the floor is, and, of course, it's a concert venue, so it points you to where stage left is located, and then it points you to where stage all right is located. It actually says that on the wall. I looked for McConaughey during the show, Matt, during the game yesterday. He wasn't there. It's too bad. I guess he had something to do.
McConaughey in his leather jacket, man. He's got it going on.
My first down goes to Arkansas men's basketball, losing 4 consecutive conference openers. The last one that they won was against Auburn in 2021. Arkansas now has lost conference openers in the last 4 seasons, counting this last Saturday to Tennessee against the Vols, against LSU, Vanderbilt, and last year's home destruction against Auburn, which was a sign of things to come. I don't think I look at the loss at Tennessee the same way that we will now view with 365 days of perspective of what that Auburn game meant last year.
You know, I don't know how many teams that win a national title have 20-point losses on the resume. So I do look at it. I mean, there's you got to have something. But yes, it's one game, but that's just something to keep in mind right there. My first up goes to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. It's tough to win games in that league right there. Both of them went 15-2 and earned that first round bye. So yeah, I think those are definitely two of the favorites to go all the way. And I know there's a couple Arkansas guys on Detroit, so kind of pulling for them a little bit as well.
Now keep in mind too, the Chiefs weren't even trying to win this last game. So when they're trying to win, they're 15-1.
That's right. They've lost like once in the last 365 days. It's why are we doubting the Chiefs so much? I don't know. I know I doubted them last year going into the playoffs because they were kind of stumbling a little bit, and then all they did was go and win the dang thing. My first down goes to the same thing. Yeah, Hogs get beat by 20+ to start the SEC. Watch the tape, learn from it, burn it. Let's move on to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to be a totally different game. It's not even going to be the same type of game that Tennessee plays. So, hey, good, protect home floor.
Hey, we know Cal can recruit. Let's see how good he can coach.
I like it.
Dr. Liggett, your first ones.
Okay. Oh, just on something you're talking about earlier with Sam Darnold. Phil, he was with the Jets. Do you remember the game against the Patriots whenever he was seeing ghosts?
I don't remember
he
that.
got
No.
sacked a bunch of times, and he came back to the sideline and looked all out of it and said, "I'm seeing ghosts." Anyway, my first
Ghosts, I think at some point might look like a defensive end rushing at you.
Exactly.
That might have been Gerard Mayo hitting him. Yeah.
So my first up, Mike Evans finale. I know you guys touched on it a little bit, but 30 seconds left on the clock. The Bucs could have just kneeled on it and won the game. I thought it was so classy that they ran a pass play to Evans and catches the pass, ties Jerry Rice for his 11th 1,000-yard season, and gets a little $3 million bonus. So can't hardly beat that.
I love that. And here's the thing. Here's one of the amazing things about what he's done here. He's done this with
4 different quarterbacks.
4 different quarterbacks. I guess the first year he played would have been under Josh McCown, and then Jameis, Brady, and Mayfield. I mean, these are guys that can throw it too. But I love this. I loved how they celebrated with Evans afterwards. You
was
could
so
see.
cool.
You remember how Mayfield said that he's more worried about getting Evans the record than Evans was to get the record? To me, when I watched that celebration, I think the entire team
The
felt
whole
that
team,
way.
the bench, everybody. It was really cool.
It is, and also I think Deshaun Jackson might have been a Tampa Bay Buccaneer for a couple years as well. Then they had Gronk, they had some tight ends, but for the most part, he's the number one. So every time a team gives a defensive scouting report, he's the first guy that they're talking about how he got to stop, and they don't really always have a Robin. When you look at Tampa Bay, so that's even more impressive. The fact that he's able to do that.
Godwin was pretty tough.
Yeah, they've had a couple guys. You're right.
All right, so you did both of yours there, Dr. Liggett, up and down?
No, haven't done the down yet.
All right, second one, go for it.
My first down is the Dolphins finishing up their season out of the playoffs. First time under Mike McDaniel's tenure that they haven't made the playoffs. But you could see whenever the Broncos went up 21 over the Chiefs that didn't play anybody, you could just see that the air let out of the Dolphins. I mean, they just – the game was over at that point. And then Tyreek doesn't want to come back in the game. Sounds like he quit. He's leaving Miami. I thought it was pretty classy in the post game press conference when they asked McDaniel about it, and he said, "I don't want to layer an emotional response with another emotional response." So he didn't really touch on it too much, which I guess is coach speak. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Do you want Tyreek Hill back in the Dolphin uniform, or is his time ran out?
I think his time has run out as the Dolphin.
Is it kind of Antonio Brown-esque, like they just kind of throwing a fit and just not really feeling the vibe anymore? I mean,
It seems like it kind of was out of nowhere from my perspective.
Because last year we were talking about, I said my vote for league MVP. I know he got hurt at the end, but I would have voted for Tyreek Hill for MVP last year. It's weird how a year changes.
I don't know how far apart they live, but I think Tyreek and Jimmy Butler could have a bowling date together.
There you
Talking about
go.
the situation
There
that
you
they
go.
put themselves in.
Hey, I'm making $48 million a year. Let's be sad.
Yeah.
My second up is to the Florida-Kentucky basketball game. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch much of this. I watched the entire first half and then a little bit of the second half before I had to get out of town. That was a high-level basketball game. One of the most amazing halves I've seen, in which Kentucky got up 52-42, and I think there was something like a 20-point swing. Florida was up by 12. Next thing you know, Kentucky goes on a 17-point run, and they win 106-100. I mean, you get two college teams that aren't even, Loyola Marymount versus UNLV back in 1990. You get two college teams that get into the 100s. It was amazing to watch. I mean, 12 three-pointers by Florida. Kentucky answers with 14. Kentucky's got this shooter, Kobe Brea. You better guard him. I mean, really guard him. Like, have somebody shadowing him. He went 7 for 9 behind the arc. Both of these teams are going to be really difficult to beat. And Kentucky in that building, because the game was at Rupp, that's going to be a really, really, really tough place to play this year. That was an amazing basketball game, and that's my first up.
Hey, you give up 100, still cover.
Absolutely. Yeah. First down goes to Thursday and Friday college football playoff games. Like, I understand they're getting out of the way of the NFL for very good reason, because the college football playoff wants to have people watch these games. It's a Saturday-based sport, and when you move the games off of Saturday, I just don't know if it is a great look overall. Look, it's not holidays anymore. People will be going to work and all of that, and I'm making too much about this, but I really would like to see college football just get out of January. This is not a college football month. We're creating a month out of it in which you got to dodge the NFL, because NFL playoffs are king of ratings of anything going on. And then, of course, the Super Bowl. I'd just like to see the season pushed back a few weeks. I know it's pie-in-the-sky stuff. It's never going to happen, but I don't like playoff games in college football on Thursdays and Fridays, so that's my down. You got, what's your next ones, Matt?
I got my second up, Liverpool, Man United game Sunday morning was pretty cool. Now, the first half 0-0, so you can fast forward through that, whatever. But it ended up being a 2-2 draw. Liverpool was able to get a point. They have a 6-point lead with a game in hand in the English Premier League, so they're getting it done. And then my second down, which is an up for Liverpool, but Arsenal got a draw against Brighton and Hove. That's the Arsenal and Chelsea are kind of the teams that have a chance to win the title this year. So every time they can drop points, it's a good day.
Very good. Dr. Liggett, you're up.
So Matt called me on Sunday morning. He was like, you got to watch this Man U Liverpool game or match, I guess. And so I turned it on, watched the second half. It was really electric. I mean, there was a lot of scoring and attempts, and I had to text Matt a bunch to figure out rules.
Their talent. I mean, there's a lot of guys making that Shohei Ohtani money just on that field right there. There's a lot of dudes making a lot Jimmy Butler money out there.
I'm going to throw in an extra up there for the two of you guys making phone calls on a Sunday morning. Love it.
My second up, Brock Bowers, 110 receptions this year, tight end for the Raiders, sets the rookie record, which Malik Neighbors had just set earlier in the day, and then Brock Bowers passed him up. But 110 catches as a rookie for a tight end, receiver, whatever. That's pretty impressive.
Won't be the last of his 100 catch seasons,
yeah,
for sure. Third up for me is Oregon State and Washington State. I had no idea about this until I read it yesterday in Front Office Sports. The Rose Bowl still has a contract with the Pac-12 that it has to honor. The money, the payout to the conference from the Rose Bowl goes to the remaining schools in the Pac-12. There are two of them. Oregon State and Washington State are splitting $50 million from the Rose Bowl. That's more than Notre Dame is making from anything they're doing in the college football playoff. That's more money than any school is making from the college football playoff. It's $50 million this year, $50 million next year from the Rose Bowl to the two schools in the Pac-12.
And if they want to, they can have an Ohio State roster. I mean, that's what you're telling me. I mean, they're getting if they just want to do that right there. I don't know if that's what they do, but that's a pretty good pot right there.
Well, think of all of the players, the coaches that they've lost. Oregon State lost Jonathan Smith, the coach that was their quarterback back in the day that built them from a winless team to a bowl team. He takes a job at Michigan State because Oregon State's no longer in a conference that matters. I'm not going to say that the next iteration of the Pac-12 matters because it's just the Mountain West, which is a good league, but it's not what the Pac-12 used to be. But that's just amazing. It's like Oregon State and Washington State, they've won the financial battle as far as at least getting some money for being the programs that were completely left out. Third down goes to Brandon Aubrey.
Spotted at the 50, and he's still going to boot it out of bounds. They're going to somehow give great field position at the 40-yard line to Washington.
Cameraman tried to deflect it.
Hopefully all right,
Kick
pal.
off out of bounds.
KP in the shot there, too, trying to maneuver.
He's just smiling. Ouch, those K-balls are no
Okay,
joke.
so there's some layers to this, too. He's kicking off from the 50. What are you doing kicking it out of bounds when you kick it from the 50? That, to me, I don't know. Maybe one side of his foot was a little bit flatter than the other. The other thing is, I don't know if you saw this, but the ball bounced off a cheerleader's head, one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. It hit her in the very back of the head as she's doing one of her routines, and she took it like a champ. She smiled. I don't know how much it hurt, but that's a football that just absolutely smacked her in the back of the head. Be worse if it was another kind of a ball like a baseball or a golf ball. Michelle Simonowski is the young lady's name. And she smiled about it, and I feel like at least she deserves a fourth up in a case. But Brandon Aubrey, what are you doing kicking the ball off cheerleaders' heads for crying out loud?
Yeah, you have to do the Phil Mickelson and go sign her a golf club there. My third up goes to Rashard Dubinion. Like we said earlier, he's going to go apply his trade at App State. Good for him. I think he'll have success there. Third down. Chelsea dropped points. London Derby, they played Crystal Palace 1-1 draw. It's always a good day when Chelsea drops points.
Dr. Liggett, you'll take us home.
All right. My last up is Bo Nix setting the rookie touchdown record. Who would have thought that? I sure wouldn't have thought watching him at Auburn.
What a perfect situation he's in, right?
Oh, no kidding. Pretty impressive.
Whose record did he break?
Had to be Peyton.
Would it have been Manning? I don't remember who set that record.
That would have been the team rookie. No, I don't know.
We got to double check it. ChatGPT, it exists for some reasons. Your last down. What do you got?
We don't talk about golf on here a whole lot, but Hideki in the PGA event this past weekend, Hideki shoots 35 under par, and Morikawa 32 under and loses by 3. It's pretty tough.
The answer was Justin Herbert. Herbert, 31 touchdown passes, 2020. Before that, it was Baker Mayfield, 27. So I don't know what Manning did that rookie year. He probably set the record for interceptions as a rookie quarterback, which says something about a rookie season sometimes, doesn't it? Well, we appreciate you coming in as always, Dr. Liggett. 3 Up, 3 Down, presented by River Valley Smile Center. Matt's a patient of Dr. Liggett, and here this month. Dr. Liggett, what do we have going on at River Valley Smiles now that we are officially back into the new year and supposed to be back into our routines?
Yeah, weather providing, the schedule's kind of back to normal now. We got most people, their insurance is starting over, so call and set up an appointment and come see us.
River Valley Smile Center is a comprehensive dental facility. They offer children's dentistry, braces, dentures, gum treatment, dental implants, oral surgery, orthodontics, root canal, and more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe can also take care of your dental needs. And, of course, Matt, Dr. Liggett as well. And we always appreciate him coming. We got a text in here from a listener. He says, this is good. Rob says, I appreciate Dr. Liggett actually knows sports. He's not just coming in here to get his name out. So, very good.
Rob.
Does that mean you guys talk sports when you're in the dental chair?
We always talk sports in the dental chair.
And you can make a phone call for soccer on a Sunday, right?
Well, send out a text, say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" But it was a good game. It was a good game. It was the atmosphere to the soccer. It's like Arkansas hosting Texas. You know, the hooligans, the theatrics, pomp and circumstance, all that stuff, man. It's pretty fun.
You can schedule an appointment at River Valley Smile Center by calling 479-646-0706. You can also go to rivervalleysmiles.com. Doc, take us home.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
Looking forward to another one of these on Monday, Dr. Liggett. And, of course, we'll have Widespread Panic ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Back with more halftime right after this quick break.
You're killing me, Smalls.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now. This is Halftime.
You got a lot of mamas, grandmamas, aunts, and uncles all in the state of Arkansas eating leftover turkey, watching their boy play. You turn it loose, man. That's the privilege that you have. You get to turn it loose. Play like a fighting Razorback today. Get ready, baby. Here we go.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Previously on Halftime.
Matt, help it make sense to me.
Well, it was the worst defensive game, our secondary, our back four. It was the worst game of the year for our secondary. The receivers, big plays. There's nothing really to say about it. You kind of just got to take that one on the chin.
Listen to Halftime, weekdays from 11 to 2, only on ESPN 104.3.
Looking for a way to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button? Learnit.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learnit.com today.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Okay. But when I be in my car, don't give me no crap, 'cause the slightest thing and it just might sound bad.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
It was probably about 38 minutes ago. Charlie, who called in during his normal slot, used a word that Clay Henry said you're really not allowed to use any longer. We have not put it on a list of what things you're not allowed to say. It was a year ago we stopped allowing anybody to say the words transfer portal, and we would throw a quarter in if you didn't throw the warp zone in there. We haven't gone to that length yet, but plethora was a word that you're probably not supposed to say, at least if Clay Henry's on with us, and he will be on Wednesday. I want to say, though, Brandon in Paris has a good word that could fit potentially. He says, if not plethora, what about smorgasbord? Does that work for you? Smorgasbord is more of like a Swedish buffet of small dishes, most of them cold dishes. So I don't know if plethora necessarily fits. But it's a fun word to say.
Charcuterie. There you go. Say charcuterie
now that's like
board.
That's a smorgasbord of a whole other kind.
So
I think you're right.
There you go.
So that's what we do. We'll go with charcuterie board for any time that we say you have a lot of something. You got a charcuterie board of it. I don't know if anybody will appreciate that.
I find salami the most sensual of all the meats. That's a George
Beautiful.
Costanza.
As he took a bite in bed, right?
If I can only incorporate TV into this, maybe I'll be onto something. I mean, I tell you, you're onto something.
That's got to be one of the weirdest things that he ever did on that show. Was the need to eat a sandwich in bed.
That's never been a real thing. That's not a real.
Seth and Rogers wants to use the word abundant. Well, that works. That fits. Plethora is just more fun to say. It's just a word that is enjoyable to say. Abundant, just, I don't know. It sounds more like a cake than anything else. Smorgasbord is a heck of a lot of fun to say. Might get in on that a little bit. Have you downloaded the brand new Hit That Line Now app? It's fun, too, because not only can you hear us, you can hear all the podcasts on ESPN Arkansas. You can connect. It's a perfect way to call our shows or text it in. We got all of our YouTube streams up there as well. It's all on one place on your phone. You don't have to go to all the other websites to be able to listen to the shows, watch the shows, or be a part of the shows. You can download the brand new Hit That Line Now app right now anywhere you download your apps for Apple or for Google Android. It's brought to you by the Taco Bell $7 Lux Cravings box. You get 3 full-size classics, chips, nacho cheese sauce, and a drink. Lux for less. It's the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell, where every bite is a win. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. We'll wrap up the second hour right after this break.
This is Halftime.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Old man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. While the students are away for winter break, we want you to fill in and bring the energy to the trough. You can relive the glory days and be a student at any of our 4 winter break games. Only a limited number of tickets are available, so head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com to purchase yours today.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
Hi, this is Sydney from Bing Guerin. 2025 annual passes are now available at Bing Guerin Golf Course. We offer a variety of plans to meet your budget needs. We have special pricing for juniors, seniors, and military. If you're looking for the best golf value in the River Valley, then look no further than Bing Guerin Golf Course. Book your 2025 tournament outings now. For more information, call the Pro Shop at 646-5301, go to BingGuerinGolf.com, or follow us on Facebook. When you think golf, Think Ben Guerin.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Baby, Diamond Blue, baby, New York City. No observer girl so pretty. Do you think we'll be in love forever? Do you think we'll be in love? Diamond Blue, baby, New York City. Give me it now, love down and pretty. Do you think we'll be in love forever? Do you think we'll be in love?
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Good day for birthdays today. Jameis Winston is 31 years old. You know, he won a Florida State BCS championship on his birthday.
Yeah, he did. Oh, he won it on his birthday?
On his birthday. This is also the anniversary of Florida State's last national championship. So Jameis turns 31 today. And Ndamukong Suh is 37. Gilbert Arenas is 42.
Agent Zero. He had a pretty good nickname.
Norm Charlton, who's the high leg kick left-handed reliever of the Bad Boys Reds from the 1990 World Champions, turned 62. Charles Haley, Hall of Fame, defensive lineman for the Cowboys, 61. Howie Long is 63 today. And Lou Holtz celebrates an 88th birthday today. You know, Holtz is still third all-time at Arkansas in wins behind Frank and Houston Nutt. 60 victories in 7 years. That's when you were playing 11 games. Tied with Ken Hatfield for third all-time in bowl games, and he still has the second highest winning percentage of any Razorback football coach with a minimum of 4 seasons. Won 73.5% of his games. Only Ken Hatfield did better. And then went on to a national championship. At Notre Dame, 88 years old.
This is the last Notre Dame national title. Right. I think Notre Dame could win it this year. I think they're going to get past Penn State. I know we don't do our picks yet, but I got Notre Dame over the Nittany Lions, so that they make it to the game. Anything can happen, especially with that defense.
It's the defense and how they looked in the line of scrimmage in the previous game and Leonard's ability to run. Though, if it comes down to them needing to throw the ball, I think they're going to be in some trouble.
It's a 24-point type of game when you're playing Notre Dame. They're not going to let it get ahead of you. Just don't turn the ball over. That's what Georgia did. They turned the ball over in some bad spots. Don't give up a special teams touchdown. Don't do some of those things. Don't hurt yourself.
Is Suh still in the NFL? No, he hasn't been there since 2022. And that's somebody that had a nice career as well. Should be up for the Hall of Fame.
Was he on that Rams team that won the Super Bowl? Was that his last year? Or was he already gone?
No, last year was with Philadelphia in 22, played in 8 games. Yeah, and Ndamukong Suh, one of the all-time greats out of Nebraska. And, man, looking at Norm Charlton turning 62, that does one for me, too, because I remember those Bad Boys Reds. They broke my heart in 90, beating the Pirates in the postseason. See, the Bad Boys were Charlton, Rob Dibble, who had a higher leg kick than Charlton did, and who was the other one? Randy Myers was the other one. He was the actual closer for that team. That's the last Cincinnati Reds team to win a World Series or even play in one. So it's a good day for birthdays here on the 6th of January, 877-377-6963. We had an interesting text a moment ago here from Jesse in Springdale, Matt. He says, your movie TV show's quote game is strong, but he thinks he could take you. That's a bold statement, Jesse. The problem with trying to take Matt with the movie quotes is that he has a Venus flytrap mind for anything that's occurred, even in the last 20 years. I can't remember anything from the last 24 years. My memory stops at 2000. I don't know how you pull this off.
Oh, I don't either. Kate McKinnon, though, she's turning Dirk Nowitzki 41. So I'm just a little bit older than Kate McKinnon. Love her, SNL star. She does
Super
a lot of funny. She's one of my favorites.
Sid Barrett would have been 79 today, according to Chris in Springdale. Remember Sid Barrett? It's not like I was like a Pink Floyd fan when he was still with the band, but that's the guy who went nuts. That's the guy who lost his mind, which pretty much the Dark Side of the Moon which is one of my favorite albums, is about Syd Barrett. And he would have been 79 today, man.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
It's a different album, but yeah, I think he was the same sort of guy.
That's Syd, though, yeah.
I think he was the crazy diamond. You're right. Hour number 3 of halftime coming up in just a moment. Our calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963. We're done with the guests, so it is just you and us. And I did have one number that interests me here, 39 days away from opening day at Baum-Walker Stadium for Arkansas against Washington State. And yes, of course, that is Valentine's Day. Are you making your plans for baseball or for Valentine's Day here? We got a lot of time to worry about that. Into our third hour of halftime right after this.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, cold air is going to stick with us for the next couple of days. Partly to mostly sunny skies today. Upper 20s north, mid 30s south with winds up to 30 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, mid to upper teens overnight, and sunshine back with us on Tuesday. A high low 30s north, upper 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You got a team in here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
I'm sorry, it's rare that I ever start a show with a laugh before I at least say good morning or good afternoon or hello, and it's halftime and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Kristen Johnston in the producer's chair. I'm laughing because Bill Belichick registered for an ex-Twitter account today. You can't be a head coach in college of any sport unless you at least have some form of social media. And Belichick made his first ever post 42 minutes ago. It says, beat Duke, D-O-O-K. My first words are a boy, or my first words on X go heel. You think it's a lot of fun to have the job to walk next to Belichick throughout the 24 hours, well, maybe the time that he's awake, and ask him, can I tweet now? Can I tweet now? Can I tweet now? Because Belichick's not doing this himself. But he has a Twitter account, so it's all happening, Matt. He's going to be a college coach for North Carolina. The moment that he leaves North Carolina, I think that there's a clause in his contract where he could actually opt out of the contract this summer if it didn't feel right in the spring. It's either this summer or next summer. The Twitter account goes out as soon as he chooses that option to.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because really you're just walking beside him, and he'll either say go ahead to print with it or don't. That'd be kind of somebody's job right there. Does Spurrier have a Twitter? Who is a coach that, if you're thinking about that, as far as who's a coach that you would want to follow in the Twitter world?
Spurrier, absolutely.
Spurrier would be one, right? Yeah.
I don't know if he does or not. Let me check. Yeah, he's on there. Still, it's Coach Steve Spurrier. He's got 94,000 followers. Put out his last tweet would have been exactly a month ago. And it's,
that's the rate I'm talking about. That's the Spurrier ratio.
He's trying to get people to purchase his Cameo hellos. That's what this last tweet was.
There we go.
Well, I mean, this is not what a grown man at that age would be doing with his time, unless he had to at least show that I can communicate with youngsters. It's like Dave Van Horn. You know, Dave has been on Twitter since 2013, and, man, he's got a total of 65 posts in these 11 years. But he's got a Twitter account because you kind of have to if you're a college
one a month.
Coach.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, the last one Dave sent out was a month ago. Before that, it was August. And then before that, it was July. He doesn't really tweet much or at all during the baseball season because he's kind of focused in on actually coaching the team. I will say this, like he does control his own Twitter account.
Rex Ryan, would that be a coach that you would think I'd want to hear his tweets, his X?
Well, you know, people would just be sending foot photos to his Twitter account.
I mean, they get all Quentin Tarantino, and it's like, hey, we got to have a scene every movie. I got to have a foot scene in my movie.
It was pointed out to me by Colton Little that the last time that the Jets made AFC Championship appearances was with Rex as the head coach, in 2010 and 2011. And he says, I mean, he's the guy. He's the one. He says he thinks he's the one that'll be chosen. He also says that if he does get the job as the Jets head coach, then he is going to end. Oh, I got to make sure I get the wording correct here because, of course, it's about Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers Country Club. Which, you know what this reminds me of? That statement reminds me of Sean Payton getting hired at Denver and then being asked about Russell Wilson's personal quarterbacks coach. He's like, well, I've never heard of anything like that before. That's a country club idea, too. But, I mean, look, that was a franchise that hadn't been in the playoffs for, I think, 7 or 8 years. It was the longest of any stretch outside of the Jets. So, I mean, you got to come into a franchise like that with a completely different attitude. And maybe Ryan is the right choice for New York. It's not like I really care all that much, but the last time that they were any good, he was the coach.
You know, I don't see Rex Ryan and Aaron Rodgers coexisting. Me
neither.
Yeah, so that I don't know if Aaron Rodgers might be done. He did get to the 500 touchdown pass mark. I mean, that's I think he ended the season at his career so far at 503, 504. So
it's a lot of touchdown passes right there. 504 of them to be exact. Looking at the career list here. Rodgers is, because, you know, he wondered about whether Belichick would try to get to Don Shula's record in regular season wins. Rodgers is really far off from even being able to break or come close to Tom. You don't realize how far ahead Brady is from everybody else in terms of career touchdown passes? 649 for Brady. Second place is Breeze, 571.
Rodgers probably won't even get to second place. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him passing Breeze.
That is a difference of 78 touchdown passes, which is like 3 good years. 3 to 3.5 good years. Yeah, good luck. He's never going to break that. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on halftime. Cabbage Head is here. What's up, Cabbage Head? How you doing today?
Oh, just fine. How are you doing?
Outstanding. Thank you.
It sounds like but I missed my favorite dentist. I had to put propane in my RV bus, and then I've not I'm a fan of your bumper music, and I'm going to have to catch up with you on that. But on this Kansas City Chiefs thing, is that their way, guys, of saying, look, when we won as many games as we had and our numbers are high, we really don't want to play this game every year, and if we make it, so was that their way of saying we really wish we didn't have to play this game?
I just think it's kind of a business decision. When you're talking about bottom line, you're talking about what is America's sports really? They don't care as much about the regular season. It's all. I mean, you look at college basketball. What is it about? It's about winning games in the tournament. Same thing in the NFL. Nobody talks about, hey man, you won the NFC South again. It's win the Super Bowl or bust for the Chiefs. They're going for a historic three-peat. Think about how many games this team's played in the last 3 years. They played more games than any other team. So I don't think there's any – I think it's a smart move.
I think there's different expectations depending on which franchise you're talking about. Now, every team will go into a season and say, our goal is to win the Super Bowl, but they're also going to be realistic about some things. Some teams just need to find a way to move forward somehow, win a playoff game for crying out loud instead of losing the first one. The Chiefs are not in that boat. This is about something that's never happened before. 3 championships in a row in a Super Bowl era. So it makes perfect sense to sit those guys. Absolutely perfect sense to sit those guys. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us here on halftime. And it's their right too. I saw some folks criticizing the Chiefs for sitting their guys because it wasn't respectful towards the other teams that were battling for a playoff spot. That has nothing to do with anything. If you've already clinched your conference's top seed, you are in no world are you obligated to do anything to help any of the other teams whatsoever. This is just about making sure that your guys don't get hurt. And some coaches view it a little bit differently. I think Belichick said he likes to play his guys. Campbell, the week before they didn't need to win before beating the Vikings. If they would have lost last week and beaten Minnesota, they would have had the tiebreaker. He started his guys. I guess it's just different team to team, coach to coach.
Same with Saquon Barkley not playing. He got to 2,000 yards, and you think, man, he had a chance, but I don't know what the right move is there. I know what Rex Ryan said. He said you sit down with the player and you have a conversation and you ask him, does he want to play, or are we worried about winning a Super? You kind of get a feel for it, and I thought it was the right move as well for Saquon Barkley not to play.
Now, it's a little different. Did you see the situation with Dallas and Cooper Rush? If he would have gotten a certain amount of snaps starting this last game, he would have reached a threshold to where he would have made a $500,000 incentive bonus. They start Trey Lance instead. Now, this is something you've pointed out too, Matt. It's like you don't really know what you've got with Trey Lance because he hasn't played for you at all. Everybody is pointing out that Dallas didn't start or play Rush so that Jerry would save $500,000. Maybe that's right, but I also can appreciate the idea that maybe you're looking to showcase this kid. Maybe he's got some kind of a game, put something on film, somebody wants to trade for him. I don't know. I know it's been 4 or 5 years since he was drafted, and he hasn't, played well at all when he was being given the chance to. So, but if I was Cooper Rush, man, I'd be pissed about that. But that's also what these incentives are about. It's not about through 16 games. It's through the entire season. And I feel for Rush. But when you're not in the postseason hunt, and that game didn't mean anything except for draft status or draft order, it's the general manager's decision. The funny thing, though, is that Jerry said post-game that he was unaware that clause was in Rush's contract. But he's the general manager, so it means it would have been his name on the contract. So I don't know if he's telling the truth.
Well, I know Cooper got the snaps and the starts when they were still trying to make the playoffs. And to the other point, Phil, to what we're making with these teams, not with the Chiefs, same thing. That happens. It happens in the NBA. It happens in the NFL. You're out of the playoffs, so we're going to play some other guys and give other guys opportunities to see. And it happens to be, are you a good practice player? Are you good in the locker room? Have you earned that right to go? They don't just let you do it, so he's doing things the right way. But Cooper got the chance to make the playoffs, and if they were still in it, they would have played Cooper. And so I think it goes both sides of the coin.
I still can't believe Jerry if he says that he didn't know. Maybe he forgot.
Jerry knows everything that's going on in that. Yeah, you can't tell me that either. Yeah.
But if you're the general manager, then you're the one negotiating the contracts. You're the one who is signing the contracts. You are the one who is supposed to know what all of these incentives are. And if you don't, you got to have somebody that's your assistant that can at least inform you of what's coming up this next week. So that, to me, it's either a lie or it's evidence of falling back a little bit in terms of the things he's remembering. 877-377-6963 to get here on Halftime Wednesday coming up. And on Wednesday, Matt Jones and I are going to be live for an unforgettable basketball Wednesday at Pinnacle Groves Senior Living in Rogers. We've been there before. It's an absolutely gorgeous facility at 5522 West Northgate Road. Not just senior living, it's living your best life. No chores, all the fun. You got to come out and see us from 11 to 2 Wednesday. That's this Wednesday in Rogers at Pinnacle Groves, where luxury meets community spirit. And we'll be there from 11 to 2 for a live edition of Halftime and hope to see you there. Back with more Halftime after this quick break.
This is Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Well, I'm with you, so I cherish every. It's charitable every moment, as you said earlier.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings Box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new hit.
Best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Okay. Welcome back on halftime as we get into our deep into the third hour. Our calls and texts coming in at 877-377-6963. We got big college games on Thursday and Friday, and the college football playoff, NFL playoffs will start on Saturday. Got the Orange Bowl Thursday, the Cotton Bowl Friday, and then Super Wild Card Weekend starting Saturday through Monday. I saw that, we're supposed to be getting some pretty nasty weather through our listening area Friday night. Let's see if it's Friday night into Saturday. I think it is. And it looks like that storm, which should be coming through Dallas first, may cause some problems for the Cotton Bowl. You remember when Pittsburgh and Green Bay played in the Super Bowl at Jerry World? There was an ice storm, which, completely ruined the city. And it made trying to just park and walk into the stadium difficult for folks. Maybe dealing with the very same thing for Friday's Cotton Bowl. It looks like the chance for snow on Friday, Thursday is 96% at night. It's going to be they better be able to clean that stuff up as quickly as possible. The game is Friday evening, so hopefully by then it won't be quite as cold and might get some of the snow up, but I don't think it's going to be one of those nice days for football, although they do play indoors. And I thought about that last month. Remember when you had your first-round games in Columbus, South Bend, and State College, Pennsylvania? Freezing cold, all three of those cities, and snow. You remember the snow in Notre Dame. And then the other game was in Austin. It's like, hi, it's 75 degrees here, and it's a beautiful day. Well, the Longhorns won't get that kind of beautiful day for their fans to try to traverse up from Austin on Thursday. Lots of callers lined up. Let's go to the phones. We've got Eduardo here with us first. Good afternoon, Eduardo, and a Happy New Year to you. What's going on?
Well, Happy New Year, gentlemen. We start the new year off. You talk about the playoffs. It's hard for me, as I said this morning on the Morning Rush, to root for Texas. I just grew up with the Hook'em Horns versus the Woo-Pig Suey. No way I could. No way, no how root for Texas. So
right,
the three teams that are left, I guess I'll go with the Irish. You're not going to
hold on, Eddie, let me ask you a
offense.
question. Eddie, I got to ask you a question here. Do you really have to root for someone? Do you need to have the rooting interest in order to really watch these games? I don't care who wins any of these games, but I do want to watch. Do you need to root for someone?
Well, sir, I guess when you get down to it, it doesn't matter. If your team's not in there, whoever that team is, you just watch it for the pure enjoyment of football. Yeah. And when you talk about the menu on display, we're down to the Final Four. And one of them definitely is going to win a national championship. No doubt about it. Let's get to the basketball Hawk train, which I take pride in this basketball program. I realized this was game one. I realized there's probably not a team in the country that had a tougher opener than we did. But to go down to Knoxville, to get out rebounded by 30 boards, I mean, you name every category recipe of basketball. But, by the way, where's the mental toughness in this team? I watched basketball this weekend, in all the SEC, and I'm telling you one thing I found out. Woo! You talk about Ole Miss. Even though the Gators lost, that was a very interesting game against Kentucky. I mean, it went down to the wire. But you talk about the physicality of this league. And I'm talking about a visit. I'm talking about, when you talk about Brazil, you talk about Theo, you better find some mental toughness. Because you've got Ole Miss coming to your home court come Wednesday, and you either don't play physical or you're not. And if you don't, you're going to lose. You can't get out rebounded. No, that's the recipe of losing. 30 rebounds. You get out rebounded, you get beat by 30 points. I mean, you better get it together, and you can't just have two scores. You just don't play. You just don't be a long season if you don't find some scoring besides Flynn and Wagner. Where's Davis at? What we spend on that kid? I'd score more points than he can, and I don't even play basketball. He better get your mind checked, gut checked, and some teams better come play. Because if you cannot win some home court games this year, I don't even know if you make the NIT. Is there anything I didn't say today you don't understand? Because if that's the recipe you're going to bring. But let's look at this league. Vanderbilt brings a physicality. Ole Miss brings a physicality. Florida brings a physicality. And you talk about Auburn. You talk about Alabama, Kentucky. And we just got beat by the number one team in the country handily. I mean, so you can't just play. You better say this. If you fall apart on a 3-minute run, who's going to be mentally tough? That's what I'm looking for Wednesday. On your own
Eduardo,
court.
that's the thing. It's
if
like
you look at those banners, you better look high.
We don't know
Thank
if
you
this
for
is a
taking my
mentally
call.
tough team or not, and it's great. Thank you very much, Eduardo. Thank you for listening to our show. We don't know if it's a mentally tough team or not yet. When you get embarrassed, it doesn't matter if it's against the number one team in their building or not, but when you lose the way that they lost on Saturday, I feel like you learn a lot about the team the next time they get out there. So it's good to be home. It's good to be, Ole Miss is really good. 6 o'clock, and love to see the place jam-packed. As tough as it was to play inside Thompson Bowling, it should be just as difficult to play inside Bud Walton Arena, but 6 o'clock on a Wednesday might make it a little bit more, a little different than that. Eduardo, it's good to hear from you. We got a bunch of folks on hold. Thank you for listening to our show. And next up is Ryan in Hot Springs. Ryan, what's up? How you doing?
Oh, not a whole lot. Y'all were talking about incentives. I'm going to go NFL on you, and then I got a little Arkansas trivia as a state for you. I got kind of excited yesterday when pretty early in the game they went and got Sutton his incentive, got that out of the way. So, and that's a big deal for us Denver fans. Is we was really worried about him next year or last year not coming back, and making sure we get his incentives taken care of. I think there's a good chance he'll be back next year. Boy, as a Bronco fan, sure was glad to finally break that 8-year streak of not making the playoffs. And I'm assuming y'all saw the Vele touchdown yesterday.
I did not. I didn't see it. You got to explain to me.
It was like two different deflections, and then he caught it with his toes inbounds before he had his knee down, and then he had to drag one of his other feet to secure the catch.
Pretty amazing catch. I miss a lot of the things going on Sundays now in NFL because I'm with the women's basketball team, and that's what yesterday was about for me. At a 2:00 tip, and then to get get on the airplane, you fly. I mean, I missed a lot of football
Right.
yesterday, and that'll pretty much be the case throughout the rest of the month on Sundays.
So, hey Phil or
Yes.
Matt, have either one of y'all seen the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Yes, sir.
I have not.
So, okay, so there's a part where they go to go see this old man in Tennessee. Matt, do you know who that old man is? The guy that the actual actor is. in that movie?
I do. I'd have to look at it. I don't
So
know.
it's Levon. It's Levon. I think it's his last name Helm. He's one of the frontmen for the movie for the band.
Levon Helm? Yeah, we know who Levon
Yes, sir.
Helm is.
Born right here in Arkansas. But anyway, he has a small role in that movie Shooter, and I found that out on accident the other day and had no clue. I just thought that was kind of cool. But Phil, you're gonna have to go. I got you some homework now, man. You need to go watch the movie Shooter and go watch so you can see that part we're talking about.
I guess I do.
Yes,
I
sir.
really do. I guess I do. I'm a fan. I love Levon Helm. I love the band.
So his role is kind of small, but it's so awesome. He's got some of the best lines in the whole movie.
Born
I
in
hope y'all-
Elaine, Arkansas.
Yes, sir. Hey, I hope y'all have a great day and go Hogs.
All right, good to hear from you, Ryan. Thanks a lot. So what part did Helm have in this? He plays Mr. Rate. That's got to be a frightening. If your name in the movie is Mister, you've got a frightening character. Robert in Fort Smith will take us up into the break. Robert, how's it going today? What's new?
Not bad, guys. Real quick, you brought up a good thing with Eddie. Do you have to have a team to watch? No, you don't. I mean, I got to watch Paterno and Bowden in the Orange Bowl one time. It was great. I didn't care who won, but just getting to be there, and seeing something great like that with two of the best coaches we've ever had, and you get to listen to all the banter between the other teams, and you don't participate really. It's fun just to watch it if you like college football. I was just telling you that.
Well, Robert, that's how I go at the World Series. I'm never going to have a real rooting interest in the World Series because the Pirates are a minor league team. So all I root for is for the series to go 7 games and extra innings in the 7th game. It makes sense. I think we can feel the same way about the football playoff, the college football playoff, because what we're rooting for is the sport. I want to feel like these are good games that are worth my time. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for a game that doesn't make me want to turn it off in the 3rd quarter or the start of the 4th quarter because there's no chance of anybody coming from behind. I just want to watch a tight game that's intense where you don't know who's going to win until the very end. I'm talking Texas USC. That's what I want to see in this playoff, and we haven't had it yet except for one game, Texas and Arizona State.
And that's the thing, like you said, just root for the sport. Have a good one, guys.
Good to hear from you, Robert. Thank you very much. 877-377-6963. I would think, Matt, there isn't a single listener right now who is allowed to call this show who is actually going to be rooting for Texas. Like, this is not about SEC. This to me is about, I hope Texas doesn't win, and I just want to see 3 good games for the remainder of this playoff.
Ooh, man, yeah, I think it's a coin flip game when you look at Ohio State and Texas. It's going to be, I mean, they're set up. Penn State, Notre Dame, I don't think either one of these teams are really going to run away from the other one. So I think by nature, that's going to be a close game as well. Yeah.
And either one of those 2 teams would be the underdog against whoever wins Texas and Ohio State. That's about right. 877-377-6963 to get with us. For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle staple, but now you can get ready for the next generation. Introducing the new matte series of Rebel Crawfish. It's 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. Now with a stunning matte finish with the same iconic shape and swimming action. The Rebel Crawfish, you can upgrade to the all-new matte series at Walmart, Bass Pro, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. It's the home stretch in our final hour. Stay with Halftime. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at InStock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by InStock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. InStock Parts.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
With no fiction, the wilderness coming unleashed. I stumble around the creatures and the Lord on a river again. I make my transport and it feels nice to roll down.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hogs fell out of the top 25, but there are 9 SEC teams ranked in the top 25 right now for men's basketball. Just crazy. And, you know, I mean, look, like SEC, Big Ten for college football. You can't look at it the same way in college basketball because let's see here. Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, Florida, and A&M are all ranked ahead of the top-ranked Big Ten team, which is Illinois at number 13. Is that something else? That's 6 SEC teams ranked ahead of the top Big Ten team. So we won't have to have that whole thing of Big Ten, SEC, and college basketball because right now it's pretty much the SEC, and we know what happened when the ACC got involved with the SEC this year. Ole Miss is ranked number 23. That's who you get Wednesday, 6 o'clock, but Walton Arena. I hate to think of the idea of a must-win game in January. I'm not going to put that one on that, but I'd say you better win it because, you know, this isn't a league where you can really fall behind all that much and still slot well into the standings. But I guess it's all about trying to get into the tournament and then playing your best when you're there. And it still does feel like 7-11 can get you in. I saw an Arkansas women's team get into the NCAA tournament at 6-10 in the SEC one year. I don't think 6-12 will get you in, but I think 7-11, depending on where those wins come from. And that means you probably have to pick off a couple of road wins here or there. I do think there's a chance for some road victories for Arkansas because I don't think they don't have to play in some of the – look, you got to play in some of the really tough places in the SEC. It's just you're not in all of them this year.
Well, if you look at Arkansas and this Arkansas basketball team, we beat one bowl team. We beat one team that's making the tournament. So, well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of golf left. I don't think we can really – you can't really judge this team yet. It's just getting going. But the teams, you know, you talk about Baylor, Illinois, Michigan. We that's one win. Tennessee's a tournament team, so we'll find out. You know, we're going to have a chance to play a lot of teams that are going to make the tournament. Are we a mid-level team? Are we a bottom feeder team? Or can we have a chance to get in that top tier? I think it's still out. I think right now we're kind of a below average middle base team. We're just a very average basketball team right now.
Now you get a couple. You get Missouri 2 times. And you get Texas 2 times. Those are teams that are winning some games, but they're not. They're not in the upper echelon this year of SEC. Kind of right around where Arkansas is at the time being. But you're looking at the road. You do have some really tough places to play on the road. At Rupp, going to be tough. I think going to the Moody Center is going to be tough, but I think that's also a winnable game. At A&M, going to be tough. At Auburn, absolutely going to be incredibly tough. You can win at South Carolina, and you can win at Vanderbilt. I think there are potentially 5 road victories out there. So let's just say you win 4 of them and hold serve at home. Let's say you go 7-1 at home, pick up 4 wins on the road. You've won 11 of 18 SEC games, which I don't know. It's just based on what we saw on Saturday. It might be asking for too much, but it's just one game. It's just one game, But, you do make a valid point, though, Matt. It's like you'd said there haven't been many national champions that have lost any game by 20 points in a regular season. I'd wonder how many Final Four teams have lost any game, whether home or road, by 24 points or more in a season. But that's something to try to rebound from. So this one against Ole Miss on Wednesday is just huge.
Yeah, it'll be a black and blue type of game. They're going to muck it up. That's for sure. I think we have more talent than the Ole Miss team. I think if we go out there and if we don't hit open jumpers, it's so tough to win in this league, and that's just something we didn't do against Tennessee. They hit open jump shots, and I mean uncontested. I mean, we make the extra pass, bam, he gets it, he's set, uncontested. We're missing those, and that should come hopefully because you got to make your babies. You got to make your open jump shots at a better clip. And we're too athletic. Coach was exactly right. There's no excuses for this team to ever get out-rebounded by 20. We're too athletic at all positions to get out-rebounded, out-physical the way we did.
Chris asks, what's more difficult, winning on the road in the SEC in basketball or football? And I think right now it's awfully difficult
1-7
to win.
was the opening weekend for SEC basketball.
Yeah,
1-7.
Right now, it looks like playing at home in basketball is a bit of a is maybe not just one feather in your cap, but a whole hatful of feathers in your cap right there. Let's go through some of these texts here. Joel in Fort Smith says doesn't have a team to root for, but if his team isn't there, he's picking a team to root against. I like that. Now, I've done that for years. Usually with baseball, I'll root against the Dodgers. I'll root against the Yankees. I'll root against all the big market teams, the ones that don't care if they, spend $250 million on a payroll, or root against the Cardinals, which is sort of in my blood growing up in Pittsburgh. But I've given that up. Now I just want to see good games. But I appreciate the way you're coming from. Look, like here's the thing, though. If let's say Texas are you rooting against Texas, Joel? If you're a Razorback fan, my guess is you're rooting against Texas. I have a feeling that most people listening here are probably doing more rooting against than rooting for. So, like, rooting against Texas is sort of quasi-rooting for Ohio State, but it's more about who loses than who wins in that case. It's actually a pretty good way to view it, Joel. Well done. Other way, Hogwild thinks Aaron Rodgers is done, and he wonders why anybody would consider signing him. That's a legitimate question. Why would you consider signing him when it didn't go well with the Jets at all? So what's to make you think that anywhere else is going to be any better? Because when he got there, that first year, that felt like they had the kind of roster to compete for an East Division championship and maybe for an AFC championship. But they never knew that year, and obviously this season you're pretty awful. There's a soap opera.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, you do what Brett Favre did. You don't officially retire, but you step away, and you kind of like what Joe Flacco did, and then you just wait and see how it goes. What teams are a quarterback away? There's not a lot of teams that right now you say is a quarterback away, but next year around December, Jared Goff gets hurt, Josh Allen, somebody gets hurt, Lamar Jackson, then you call up Aaron Rodgers, like if that's a team that's a quarterback away. So, but right now, that's not the case.
Flacco did that the season before, but not this year. That's kind of like the Jason Peters approach of how you play football now, right? You don't go to camp with anybody. Obviously, Rodgers doesn't
want to go to camp anyways. Yeah.
No, he's got all kinds of other things planned. So maybe that's the best idea. Just continue doing the hits on McAfee and go on your darkness trips and ayahuasca visits and all of that. And then when you get into October, somebody's got a quarterback that's hurt. Next thing you know, you bring in Aaron Rodgers, and everything automatically gets 100% better.
Where's right? Jimmy Garoppolo starting at next year? He'll get hurt before the season's over.
He'll get hurt before the season starts. Cecil's here with us, 877-377-6963. Good afternoon, Cecil. What's going on?
What's up, fellas? I had to jump in on that debate right there, Phil.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers did a lot for the NFL. He entertained me for years, and he's not washed up. It's just the chemistry where he's at is just not going to work.
But
he got to move around.
Partially responsible for that chemistry. If you're the quarterback and you
Phil, I understand that, but I do understand. Just like my boy left Seattle, he went to where did he go? Matt, where did he go? And now he went to Denver. And now he's doing great at Pittsburgh. It's the chemistry, and it just ain't working for him over there, man. I don't know if it's the Jets got some. I don't know. Jets ain't never really been nothing. And I don't get it. But I think
Jets. What do you think about this, Cecil? Jets hire Rex Ryan as their head coach and go back and get Sam Darnold from who they drafted. Could you see anything like that for them next year?
I could see that. Honestly, I could. But Rodgers, man, is still a great quarterback, man. Rodgers is one of those great ones, and then he didn't do what some people really expected out of him. But he's still a good quarterback. He's one of the best. Sometimes you just can't get over the hill. You have a flat every time you get up there. And it just didn't work. It didn't work out for him. A lot of people was expecting everything to go right. New York was on cloud nine. It just didn't work. And I think man, what do you think? You think he's gonna stay another year or move around? I think he's gonna move around.
Man, if I was Aaron, that's what I think he should do is kind of go that Joe Flacco approach and wait till about August, September. Just stay in shape, keep doing your thing,
right.
and then kind of play it, see what happens.
Yeah, because I just don't.
Fit. Where do you think would be a good fit for him?
Oh Lord, man, it's kind of hard to say, man. It's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I had to do my research on that. I ain't just gonna just say nothing, and I'm not gonna disgrade the Razorbacks either. We got a very young team. We young. I'm not gonna say we this and that about the NIT. None of that. We got a good team. They're young. It's the first year all these guys played together. We're doing okay. It's gonna take I figure next year we'll be really, really pretty good. But you just can't just grab Larry and Mo and Jerry and Tom over here.
Team next, Cecil, you're not going to have the same team next year. So
no, we're not.
Close to the same group of guys. Who knows?
Well, we're going to have some, though, Phil. Come on now.
You're not
going to have some.
And Adu is out of eligibility. Thero's probably going to the NBA after this. Brazil will be done after that. You're not going to have the same team. There'll be a few.
But some of them guys,
who knows?
Hey, Phil, some of them guys is getting money in college ain't going to get it in the pros like that.
That's
and
right.
you know that.
They also won't be able to play another year because they'll be out of eligibility. But, I mean, Thero's not coming back for another year. He's not.
Thero's the NBA. He's an NBA player.
Yeah, and Fland isn't going to be around for a second year either. I mean, it's 2 years starting.
Well, look at the class coming out, though, man. They got some bad little youngsters coming out. I've been trying to keep up with all of them, but it's a lot of them.
Well,
and Calipari's
all over again.
Well,
you're going to have to deal with the idea that every year it's a different roster, and that's not just because of Cal. That's college basketball. That's college football.
Well, it's college. Yeah, I understand that. I comprehend all of that. But we still got a good team. We got a pretty good team, man. It's just we don't even have a full roster. Just got to take the bumps and keep moving.
I'll say good to hear from you, Cecil. Thank you.
Okay.
I think there's definite youth on this team, but there's also a bunch of experienced players. I mean, Janelle Davis is experienced as anybody that's in college basketball. Trevor Brazil's been around 4 years. Jonas Adu's been around 4 years. Theo's in his third season. I mean, we can't just look at the idea that there's some young players on this team as a reason why there's ups and downs, because every team's going to have young players that are talented and everything, and every team's going to be cobbled together in the offseason the way that this one, maybe not exactly the way that this one was, where it was just a completely new team, 1 through however many are on the roster. But I do wonder about the ability to really develop not players individually, but chemistry for a team, and is it just a matter of luck sometimes? You know, you get a group of guys that can be together, Matt, for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, you can work on chemistry and just them being around each other that long, you would think that it happens. But now it's about trying to find instant chemistry or something that looks like chemistry that takes a couple of months to figure out. And that's a difficult thing to do. Sometimes it feels more like luck than anything else.
Well, and it's not necessarily we're the most talented team either. Some of these teams, I think, have more talented players than us. And so it helps when you have the more talented team. Spot could be San Francisco 49ers, though, for A-Rod. You start talking about their quarterback situation, a team that's ready-made, kind of fell back a little bit this year, but going forward, maybe you're able to keep Brock on that rookie deal one more year.
All right, we'll break here on halftime. We'll be back, wrap up the show in just a moment.
This is halftime.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach John Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. If you have tickets, make sure they're being used. If you need tickets, head over to SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek, that's the official resale marketplace of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, we've reached the end of halftime here for a Monday, January the 6th, 2025. There will be Ruskin and Zach coming up at 2 o'clock. And usually this time of the year, we've got the Coach Cal radio program on a Monday, so I'm pretty sure that should be happening later on tonight. And if you missed any of the show, our Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast comes out very soon, and then we'll do all this over again tomorrow for a Tuesday with Bill King, with Alyssa Orange, and I'm trying to get a recruiting guy on sometime this week. We usually have Danny West on when we can, so waiting to hear back from Danny and looking forward to hearing from him. Hopefully we can have him on tomorrow or Thursday. Otherwise, no Monday Night Football tonight. Don't really have much going on, so it's just a Monday now. How about that? Soccer to watch today, Matt? You got any?
There's always soccer. You got
There's always.
Wolverhampton and the Nottingham Forest. They play at 2:00 today in the Premier League. Yes.
We got a big Monday on ESPN. What do you got here? TCU and Houston playing on ESPN2. I don't know. I guess, you got to have something to watch. You don't need football today because we got 5 big days of playoff football starting Thursday.
Who? So we only had 2 head coaches so far. Is it Black Monday starts, or was this actually Black Monday? Is it going to be a low end?
Doesn't feel like a Black Monday.
Yeah, because usually there's like 8.
Jared Mayo and Doug Peterson is it. That's it so far. But the day, I guess, is still young. It's only 3:00 Eastern time. So I haven't checked on it in a moment. Let's just go over here. No, nobody else has been fired in the NFL, at least head coaches, not yet. Well, it's been great being back with you guys on a Monday. Looking forward to doing it again tomorrow. So for Matt Jones, for Kristen Johnston, and everybody else that was with us on Halftime today, I'm Phil Elson. Have a great rest of your Monday. And get up, get out, and get better.